Hey y'all, Moses here. In today's video, we are going to scientifically discover the worst gun in PUBG, utilizing the fundamentals of the empirical process, opinions, anecdotes, and poorly constructed charts. This video is not designed to upset you, but it's probably going to, mainly due to the fact that PUBG has a terrific weapon balance, and given enough attempts, you can win a game of PUBG using pretty much any gun. We're going to go category by category to determine the absolute worst gun in PUBG, and it's going to be awesome. But first, let's hear about a revolutionary piece of gaming tech that you've probably never even heard about, the PC-37X from Massdrop. The PC-37X was a custom gaming headset designed with comfort and performance in mind. The plush ear cups and headband in combination with a crystal clear noise-canceling microphone makes marathon gaming sessions a breeze. Check out the link in the description below and get instant shipping from Massdrop today. Part 1. The process. Now, let's discuss how we will be grading the various candidates for the worst gun in PUBG. The scoring system will be out of 5 for each of the following categories: ease of use, effectiveness, kit ability, and deception. Ease of use will focus on the general control of the weapon and how easy it is to use. Effectiveness will focus on the weapon's killing power at all ranges. Kit ability will review how easy it is to get a weapon fully kitted. And deception is the category where we will determine how the previous 3 categories stack up to its actual in-game performance and determine if the weapon is tricking people into thinking it's good. The deception score is kind of an odd category and will be used to make the case the gun is even worse than we think it is. Don't think too hard, just trust the science. Part 2. The candidates. I put out a poll on Twitter with various choices. What I didn't mention was that I have selected one weapon from each of the major categories, which are SMGs, ARs, DMRs, and snipers. You'll have to trust my judgment on these candidates, but let's do a quick recap of why I chose these particular guns. SMG. The Tommy gun will be representing the SMG category. Its lack of a weapon sight, ridiculous restrictions for attachments, and slow bullet speed make the Tommy gun the worst SMG by far. AR. The newest addition to the AR category has been underwhelming for me, and the Mutant is struggling to find a place in a very competitive category. It has slow bullet speed, no full auto function, and requires a pretty decent amount of attachments to reach a level of control that's passable for what it is, a confused and inadequate DMR. DMR. This one was kind of rough, and I upset the entire country of Denmark when I selected the VSS as the worst DMR. The only thing that makes the VSS a DMR is the fact that it has a permanent 4x scope and takes DMR/AR attachments. Otherwise, I would consider it more of an SMG considering its effective range. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. Sniper. The Winchester is far and away my personal least favorite weapon and slots into the sniper category in the same way that because I can do 10 push-ups, I slot into the athlete category. The Winchester takes one attachment, bullet loops, which it shares with the Kar 98. It has a painfully slow reload speed, no sights, a relatively underused ammo type, and a slow rate of fire. This gun blows. Alright, you've met the candidates, the comments are being angrily typed. Let's crown the worst gun in PUBG. The Tommy gun. Ease of use. You can't see anything when you're ADSing due to the muzzle flash and awful iron sights. The decent hip fire or third-person aiming with a relatively large mag size means that it's only half decent up close. I give the ease of use score for the Tommy gun 1 out of 5. Effectiveness. Decent damage but slow bullet speed and poor vision means you have to be close to your enemy. The Vector and UMP both trounce the Tommy gun in every perceivable category. The Micro Uzi has a better sight, better control, and better DPS. The effectiveness score for the Tommy gun is 2 out of 5. Kit ability. The Tommy gun can only take a vertical grip, which seems to now be one of the most rare items in the game, especially when you need one. It can't take any barrel attachments other than a suppressor, which is fitting because the fewer people that hear you using the Tommy gun, the better. The extended mag and ammo capacity is the only positive here. The extended Tommy gun has the highest mag capacity in the SMG category with 50 rounds, and you're going to need every single one. The kit ability score for the Tommy gun is 2 out of 5. Deception. Luckily, the Tommy gun is so hard to use and so hard to kit that it does a very bad job at convincing anybody that it's good. I can't remember a single time where I've come across somebody outside of a very early game shooting a Tommy gun. Just a quick reminder for those of you who don't know or don't remember, this thing used to be a crate weapon. Let that sink in. The deception score for the Tommy gun is 1 out of 5. The total score for the Tommy gun is a whopping 1.5 out of 5. That's pretty terrible, but let's move on. The Mutant. Ease of use. The Mutant doesn't have a full auto function, but comes with a 2-shot burst, which means that your engagements are best done at medium distance. Unattached, the Mutant is alright and has a decent iron sight. If you can control your recoil and have decent aim, the Mutant is serviceable up to about 150 meters or so. The ease of use score for the Mutant is 3 out of 5. Effectiveness. The Mutant has only a slightly faster bullet than the AK, and because it doesn't have a full auto function, you're going to lose most 1v1 fights against any decent opponent inside 100 meters unless you're spamming and hitting every shot before you get sprayed down. Outside of 100 meters, DMRs like the Mini or the SKS will pick you apart, and even the M16 does a better job than the Mutant. Essentially, any engagement outside the Mutant's sweet spot, which is about 150 meters, is going to see players getting outclassed by other weapons. The slow bullet speed really hurts the Mutant as an effective secondary, and the lack of a full auto feature makes it a poor choice as a primary weapon. The effectiveness score is 2 out of 5. Kit ability. The Mutant is afforded a similar kit as many other ARs like the Scar and the Barrel. Everything that works for an AR will work for the Mutant, with the optimal kit being a light or vertical grip, compensator, and extended mag with a 6x scope. The Mutant gets that crappy AKM 4x reticle, so unless you're into that, try and find a 6x scope, or if you hate yourself, the 3x scope. The kit ability score for the Mutant is 4 out of 5. Deception. The Mutant is easily the most devious weapon in the game. It looks super cool, it sounds super cool, especially when it's suppressed, and every once in a while you'll hit a few shots and feel like a god. If you compare it to every 5.6 rifle, it loses in control, bullet speed, and fire rate. The AK is easier to kit, and if you have all the attachments it needs, you should be putting them on the barrel instead. It also has the lowest maximum bullet capacity of all ARs. The Mutant doesn't do anything as well, or better, than literally any other AR, and is really only halfway viable on Sanhok. Don't let the Mutant trick you, it's bad. The deception score for the Mutant is 5 out of 5. And the cumulative score for the Mutant is 3.5 out of 5. Not bad. The VSS. Ease of use. The VSS is probably one of the easiest guns to use up to a medium distance. Even if you have bad aim, your enemies will be so confused as to what's happening or where the shots are coming from that you can probably correct any mistake you make. It comes with a permanent scope, so super up-close engagements may be hard, but the hipfire should save you in the early game. The VSS might cost you in an open engagement with better DMRs or ARs. The ease of use score for the VSS is 4 out of 5. Effectiveness. The VSS is hard to judge for effectiveness because it relies heavily on the style of the player. If you have sound positioning and awareness, you should be able to use the VSS relatively effectively. If you're a snake and spend your life in bushes, the VSS is your dream weapon. If you get into a 1v1 sniper/distance battle and all you have for range is the VSS, you're going to get smoked. The big bonus for the VSS is the sound output, which in the later circles will be a massive advantage if you're erasing people on the edges of the circle. Aside from ammo capacity and sight variety, this thing can perform as well as the UMP, one of the better guns in the game. The effectiveness score for the VSS is 3 out of 5. Kit ability. With the attachment changes from a few patches ago, the VSS is very easy to kit. Extended mag and a cheek pad, but the cheek pad doesn't make or break the gun's effectiveness. The kit ability score for the VSS is 5 out of 5. Deception. The VSS also scored high on deviousness, considering how much weight players place on the silent nature of the gun. I had to think pretty hard about the last time I lost a fight against a person using a VSS. Often I'll realize I'm being shot at with a VSS, and if I'm not taking damage, assume that they're too far away to be dangerous. That's where the Mutant and the VSS seem to cross paths. They have similar effective ranges of about 150 meters. Yes, I'm sure you're a master of the PSO scope, but I don't want to have to use astronomy to get a kill. The VSS is outclassed by most of the other DMRs in straight up getting the job done, but it's also a joy to use. The deception score for the VSS is 4 out of 5. And that leaves the VSS with a cumulative score of 4 out of 5. Winchester. Ease of use. The Winchester suffers from an extremely low rate of fire and an even slower reload speed. Like the Tommy gun, it can't take any sight attachments and has a difficult iron sight. ADSing is also a must for the Winchester, which is designed as a medium-range weapon that can logically only slot in as a sniper rifle. It's hard to use, it's slow firing, and it does moderate damage for the one shot you'll likely land before being beat to death by a crowbar while you reload for 30 seconds straight. The ease of use score for the Winchester is 1 out of 5. Effectiveness. The Winchester is quite possibly the least effective weapon in the game, even though it does 66 damage per shot before armor. Even if you can land a headshot, if your target has a level 2 helmet, they'll survive. The Winchester is often only used in early game situations, similar to pistols, which are often more effective in those frantic close-range fights. If for some crazy reason you're holding onto the Winchester and managing to keep a straight face, you're going to be destroyed by literally every other weapon in the game aside from maybe the revolvers in a 1v1 fight. Even a naked Tommy gun will eat your lunch, and it won't be close. The effectiveness score for the Winchester is 1 out of 5. Kit ability. The Winchester takes bullet loops that are shared only with the Kar 98 and increases the reload speed, which will allow you to miss more shots at an even faster rate, which is cool, I guess. The kit ability score for the Winchester is 1 out of 5. Deception. Luckily for most people, the Winchester is so pathetic that the only people that will tell you it's good can really only show you one clip where they killed 2 people in the early game one time and have a cute little bronze pan next to their name on the leaderboard. The Winchester is bad, and everybody knows it. The deception score for the Winchester is 1 out of 5, leaving the Winchester with an astounding cumulative score of 1 out of 5. Well, it's not going to be too hard to guess the winner. The Winchester, by a landslide, is the worst gun in the game. Every week or so, I'll see a Reddit thread talking about how the Winchester should have a scope attachment or a suppressor or some other suggestion to make this gun or some of the other guns on this list better. The reality is that there needs to be bad guns. If every gun was good, then it would take away from the variety of the game. It's fine that all these guns are trash in their own unique way. That makes using them and sometimes succeeding with them all the more rewarding. Looking at the final ranking based on the very scientific cumulative scores, the Winchester obviously taking first place, the Tommy gun coming in second, third is the Mutant, and finally rounding out this list is the VSS, which arguably probably shouldn't have been on it to begin with, but I needed one and that is kind of the worst DMR. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found the humor in it, as well as maybe come to some terms with the fact that the gun you're using is probably bad. So get out there, try them out, enjoy yourself. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to leave a comment down below if you think I got anything wrong, because I'm sure you think I did. And you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/wtfmoses. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and until next time, I'll see you out there.